Happy Saturday, iconic glamers. My name is Stacie-lianne. I love makeup and I'm a huge horror fan. This week we are talking all things Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie, the new movie, the games, the lore, everything, books, creepypastas, the whole lot. I am going in again with my Cosmic Beauties Starlight Society because this palette is absolutely beautiful. But everything I use will be linked in the description box down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, maybe a share, help a girl out, but grab your flashlights and let's get into it. Five Nights at Freddy's was released in October 25th, 2023. Follows Mike Schmidt, a down on his luck security guard who takes a night shift at the long abandoned Freddie Fazbear's pizzeria. He does this to keep custody of his younger sister Abby. From night one, Mike notices something off about the animatronic mascots, Freddie, Bonnie, Chica and Foxy. They move and attack at night. As Mike's night progresses, he learns the restaurant's dark history. 5 children went missing during its heyday. He teams up with Vanessa Shelly, a local police officer, to protect Abby. Now, Mike Schmidt, he is portrayed by Josh Hutcherson and is the main protagonist, a struggling young man caring for his little sister Abby, traumatised by the childhood kidnapping of his brother Garrett. He decides to take the night security job at Freddy's to keep custody of Abby. In the games, Mike Schmidt is also a player's name in FNAF 1, but in the movie he has a deeper emotional story. Then there is Abby Schmidt, portrayed by Piper Rubio, and she is Mike's younger sister, a kind and imaginative child who draws pictures of her friends, the animatronics, unaware they're haunted. She is unique to the film, she doesn't exist in the games. Then there is Vanessa Shelly. She is portrayed by Elizabeth Lale, think you, and she is a local police officer who helps Mike understand the pizzeria's dark side. She is later revealed as William Afton's daughter. In the games, Vanessa appears in FNAF Security Breach and as Sinister Vanny, but is portrayed totally different here. And then there is William Afton, or Steve Raglan, portrayed by Matthew Lillard, and is the main antagonist, Mike's job recruiter and secretly the serial killer who murdered the missing children. His aliases are Pepper Guy and Springtrap in the games. He's the creator of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and the one responsible for trapping the children's souls in the animatronics. The director of Five Nights at Freddy's, Emma Tammy, explained that what first fascinated her most about the game series was the atmosphere. That's what I love about horror movies. The moments between jump scares and the sense of dread in an otherwise ordinary place. She was especially drawn to the animatronics as characters. They have such a unique element in the pairing with Jim Henson's Creature Shop, and she said it was just a dream come true. She noted that there is something inherently creepy about things meant to entertain children, like the mascots, the dolls, the animatronics. Don't get me started on dolls. And the film aimed to tap into that unease. I mean, it doesn't happen so much now, but that feeling when you watch a horror movie and you know something's going to happen and you just feel it in the pit of your stomach, that is the dopamine hit I need. Now, bringing the animatronics to life, Tammy said they were practical, physical builds, not just CGI. and that they had to move and emote in a way fans would recognise, so the audience connection was key. She described how the animatronics sometimes seemed to behave on their own, creating unexpected moments on set, saying, "I remember the animatronic all of a sudden just twitched its eye. Oh, you'd shit yourself, wouldn't you? I'd be out." Also, the rating and tone were deliberate rather than a full graphic horror movie. Tammy said that the PG-13 approach allowed for a less graphic but more creativity. Tammy did acknowledge the passionate fan base of the game, saying, "If you don't please the fan base, then what is the point in pleasing anyone?" At the same time, she wanted the film to be accessible for people who were unfamiliar with the games. The story is still a really fun ride, even if you don't understand all the layers, but with my brain, I had to know it all. She also emphasised the use of Easter eggs and lore references for fans to discover. They were definitely focused on planting Easter eggs throughout, should people want to rewatch it too. Tammy has expressed that she wants to continue exploring the world of FNAF in sequels, and there's just so much potential to bring into any sequel. She also mentioned that the upcoming film will explore more animatronics, deeper lore, and build on the first film's foundations. When asked about whether the end credit message implied a possible sequel, she responded with, "We had to tease something, if you know, you know." Tammy approached the film as a love letter to the franchise and the fan base, while also trying to make it work as a standalone horror movie experience. She intentionally leaned into childhood wonder, turning into something scary, the idea that we laugh, we play, and then something changes in the dark. She saw the animatronics not just as props, but characters with movement, emotion, and presence. All four of the animatronics were built by William Afton and later possessed by the souls of the children. They were brought to life on screen by the Jim Henson Creature Shop, combining robots and puppetry. So you have Freddie Fazbear, who is a brown bear, top hat with a bow tie, and the pizzeria's mascot and band leader, the most intelligent and emotional of the group. He leads the others and acts protectively towards Abby. He also hesitates to attack Mike when he recognises him as family in the games. Freddie is the central antagonist, silent, cunning, and attacks when the power runs out. Bonnie the bunny, a purple-blue bunny guitarist with a red bow tie, the first animatronic to move at night, known for stalking the security guard and suddenly appearing in doorways. In the games, Bonnie is one of the most active and unpredictable enemies in FNAF 1. Then there is Chica the chicken, a yellow chicken wearing a bib that says "Let's eat." Appears friendly at first, but becomes menacing when possessed. She carries around her companion a cupcake. In the games, Chica patrols the right hallway and is one of the main trio haunting the players. Then there is Foxy the pirate fox, a red tattered fox with an eye patch and a hook for a hand, usually hidden in Pirate Cove. He's faster and more aggressive than the others in the movie. Foxy's sudden bursts of movement mirrors his jump scare style from the games. And in the games, Foxy is unique. He hides behind curtains and sprints towards the office when triggered. Now, in both movies and game lore, William Afton murders several children and hides their bodies in the animatronic suits. Their souls possess the robots, giving rise to the haunted behaviour and the violence. Over time, new generations of animatronics like Funtime and Glam Rock inherit the same cursed legacy. The missing children incident is set around the late 1980s at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. William Afton, the co-founder of Fazbear Entertainment and a technician for the animatronics, lured 5 children into a back room using the spring Bonnie costume. He murdered them and their bodies were stuffed into the animatronic suits of Freddie, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy and possibly Golden Freddy. Soon after, customers began reporting a foul odour and leaking fluids from the animatronics, clues that led to the restaurant's closure. The children's spirits possessed the animatronics and the haunted robot started attacking anybody that looked like William Afton, mistaking the security guard, the player, as him. This haunting explains the terrifying behaviour in Five Nights at Freddy. The games never clearly name them, but in FNAF 6 and the Save Them minigame, fans and developers later implied these names. So Gabriel is Freddy Fazbear, Jeremy is Bonnie the Bunny, Susie is Chica the Chicken, Fritz is Foxy the Pirate Fox, and Cassidy is Golden Freddy. The missing children incident wasn't the only tragedy. It started a pattern. The Bite of 87 refers to a violent incident referenced in the first FNAF game in 2014. When an animatronic bit a person's head, causing severe brain damage but not killing them. A quote from the phone guy in FNAF 1, "It's amazing that the human body can live without a frontal lobe, you know?" This line is the only direct mention of the events in the original game, but it becomes one of the franchise's most famous mysteries. But what we do know about the incident is it happened in 1987, same year I was born, hence the name. The victim is unknown, but most likely a daytime security guard or guest. It happened at the Freddy Fazbear Pizza seen in FNAF 2. The victim survived but suffered severe head trauma and loss of the frontal lobe. The animatronics suspected were Foxy, Mango, and possibly Toy Freddy. The restaurant faced heavy backlash, and the night security job was introduced afterwards. The Bite of 87 represents the failure of control, both mechanically and morally. William Afton tried to make life eternal through machines, but each creation backfired. The bites, murders and hauntings show that you can't imprison the human soul, you only anger it. There was another bite event, and this took place in 1983. It was a fatal accident or murder that occurred at the Fredbear's Family Diner, the precursor to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. During a birthday party, a young boy was bitten by the animatronic Fredbear, crushing his skull. Now, this event is shown in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 through pixelated mini-games and hallucination sequences. The only victim is known as the Crying Child, who is the younger son of William Afton, the series' main antagonist. Throughout FNAF 4, he is shown to be terrified of the animatronics and the pizzeria. He is constantly bullied by his older brother, often believed to be Michael Afton, and his friends. Then it was during a birthday party they mock his fear by forcing his head into Fredbear's animatronic mouth while it's active and the jaw snaps shut. The Crying Child's death becomes one of the central tragedies that drives William Afton to his later madness. Fredbear is a golden version of Freddy Fazbear, the mascot of Fredbear's family diner. Unlike the later animatronics, Fredbear's mouth is spring-loaded, powered by mechanical spring locks that open and close based on movement. When the child's head is inside, a sudden twitch or malfunction causes the spring lock to fail, leading to the final bite. This moment is shown in FNAF 4's final cutscene. The mouth slams shut and the screen fades to black. The incident devastates everyone and the diner is shut down immediately. The Fredbear and Spring Bonnie Springlock suits are retired, but later linked to the William Afton murders. The Crying Child's soul later possesses the Golden Freddy animatronic, a ghostly and vengeful spirit appearing in later games. The haunting becomes central in the Fazbear curse, the idea that the souls of murdered children inhabit the animatronics. The bite of 83 isn't just an accident, it's a metaphor for guilt, loss and creation gone wrong. William Afton loses his son not to an enemy but to his own creation. His grief curdles into obsession. He begins experimenting with immortality and animatronic possession, leading to the murders that define the series. Michael Afton, the older brother, spends the rest of his life trying to atone for the role he played in his brother's death. The FNAF fire at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza after FNAF 1 in the late 1980s, early 1990s, from FNAF 3 backstory and in-game newspaper articles. After the event of the first FNAF game, the restaurant is permanently closed. The official report says the building was abandoned and later burned down supposedly by accident. This was Fazbear Entertainment's attempt to erase its history, but the haunted animatronics survive. Some of the remains are salvaged later for the Fazbear Fright horror attractions in FNAF 3. The Fazbear Fright fire in FNAF 3, some called it the true ending, located in Fazbear's Fright, the horror attraction in the early 2000s. In FNAF 3, the players work at a horror attraction built using relics from the original pizzeria. By the final night, the attraction burns to the ground, triggered by the player or the haunted animatronics. A newspaper clipping states tragedy strikes at Fazbear's Fright. The attraction burns down overnight. Authorities have not yet determined the cause. It supposedly frees the spirit of the murdered children, but Springtrap, William Afton, survives the blaze, setting up the later games. The pizza simulator fire in FNAF 6, set up by Henry Emily around mid-2000s or maybe later. This is the most significant fire, the one meant to end everything. So Henry Emily is a co-founder of Fazbear Entertainment and a father of one of the murdered children. Purposely designs the pizzeria as a trap. He invites all the haunted animatronics, Springtrap, Molten Freddy, Scrap Baby and Lefty to gather in one place. He then locks the doors and sets the building ablaze. The characters actually caught in the fire are William Afton, Springtrap burned, but later becomes Glitch Trap's digital remnant, Scrap Baby, Molten and Lefty burned, and their spirits were released, while Henry Emily sacrifices himself in the fire. The fire is the true cleansing moment of the franchise. The trapped souls are finally freed, the physical curse of Fazbear creation ends, and Henry and Afton's decade-long tragedy reaches closure. The mega Pizzaplex fire at Freddy Fazbear's mega Pizzaplex, try saying that quickly, happened around 2030 in FNAF Security Breach and the Ruin DLC. At the end of the security breach, multiple endings involving the Pizzaplex catching fire, especially in the Burn Trap ending. Gregory and Glamrock Freddy descend into the underground ruins, the remnants of Fazbear's fright, where they confront Burn Trap, which is William Afton's corpse. After defeating him, the Pizzaplex ignites. The fire again symbolises the attempt to destroy Afton for good. The Ruin DLC hints that his influence continues digitally as the Mimic or Glitch Trap. Fire in Five Nights at Freddy's is more than destruction, it's how the series resets after corruption. It's Henry's redemption for creating the original pizzeria. It's the only thing that can end the cycle of death, but never completely. So Five Nights at Freddy's is developed by Scott Cawthorne and released in August 8th, 2014. It is an indie horror survival point-and-click game. The game is set in a fictional family pizza restaurant called Freddy's Fazbear's Pizza, a clear nod to real-life places like Chuck E. Cheese, where the animatronic mascots come to life. You play as Mike Schmidt, a newly hired night security guard working the 12 AM to 6 AM shift for 5 nights. As I said, each animatronic has unique movements, patterns and behaviours. So Freddy Fazbear stays mostly still until later into the night, moves quietly and is unpredictable. Bonnie the bunny aggressively attacks from the left door and static camera glitches. Chica the chicken moves through the kitchen, attacks from the right door. You hear clattering sounds and eerie moaning. The pirate fox hides in Pirate Cove and sprints towards you if he's ignored, and he has thundering footsteps. Golden Freddy, which is a rare hallucination, crashes the game. If triggered, you see static images and "It's me" on the screen. Each night gets harder as the animatronics become faster and less predictable. At the start of each night, you receive a voicemail from the phone guy, a previous guard who leaves cryptic messages. Now, he explains the basic controls, but also hints at the dark backstory. Now, these recordings gradually reveal the animatronic attacks because they mistake you for an endoskeleton without a suit. The phone guy could be a previous guard that just didn't make it. FNAF hides story elements through background details like newspaper clippings, mentions missing children and haunted animatronics, posters sometimes change to show the distorted faces of the children or Golden Freddy. The "It's Me" message is linked to the spirit of the murdered children possessing Golden Freddy. These mysteries made fans dig deeper, discovering the murderous backstory involving William Afton, a co-founder of the restaurant who killed several children. It creates fear through anticipation, not gore. Five Nights at Freddy's has become one of the most influential indie horror games ever, polarizing the static cam surveillance horror subgenre and spawned a massive franchise with 10 plus games. Now, there is no single number for how many books exist because it depends which series you include, but the most well known are the original trilogy and the subsequent short story series like Fazbear Frights, which has 12 books, Tales from the Pizzaplex, which has 8 books, and in addition to these novels and short story collections, there are also graphic novel adaptations of the original trilogies, standalone guides, and the new interactive novel series. There are many famous hidden Easter eggs across the games, like Golden Freddy's crash scene in FNAF 1, a rare poster change that triggers hallucinations, Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy in FNAF 2, who appear randomly and vanish when stared at, Happiest Days minigame in FNAF 3, the children wearing masks symbolises souls freed, an 8-bit minigame in FNAF 2 to 4 with retro flashbacks that reveal murders and lore, a purple car in the parking lot in FNAF 2 with Afton's murder vehicle later appearing in the books, hidden gravestones representing the children Afton killed, static faces in FNAF 1, cameras and hidden visions of children's souls, and lastly, Glitch Trap's dance loop and help wanted sign hints at Afton's conscious presence. While Five Nights at Freddy's is not directly a creepypasta, its narrative and fan community have deeply intertwined with the creepypasta culture. The franchise does use a similar style of hidden ambiguous lore that has inspired a large amount of fan-made content, including stories, audio dramas, and a game that blends the original FNAF story with other creepypasta elements. FNAF's intentionally mysterious and fragmented storyline is similar to the forensic fandom found in creepypasta, where fans piece together a larger narrative from clues. This has led to the creation of many FNAF creepypastas that expand on the game's lore, such as stories about the missing children and other characters, as seen on platforms like YouTube and the Creepypasta Fandom wiki page. The line between the official FNAF story and fan-created content has blurred, resulting in numerous fan-made games and stories that combine FNAF characters with other popular creepypasta figures. Examples include fan-made games like Five Nights with Creepypastas and numerous audio dramas or storytime that adapt FNAF lore into creepypasta formats. These lip liners are the new NYX lip lingerie. I use the shade Hot and Heavy. It's like a beautiful mauve colour. If you look at the end, it's got a ball on it, so it's really precise. It's like a felt tip pen as well. It's really strange, but it's really pretty. So Five Nights at Freddy's 2 does release on the 5th of December, and I have to say it does look pretty good. So 1 year has passed since the supernatural nightmare at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Former security guard Mike has kept the truth from his 11-year-old sister Abby. Concerned with the fate of her animatronic friends, she sneaks out to reconnect with Freddie, Bonnie, Chica and Foxy. She sets in motion a terrifying series of events that reveal dark secrets of the true origin of Freddy's. So Josh Hutcherson, Elizabeth Lyle, Piper Rubio and Matthew Lillard will reprise their roles, as well as some new cast members like Skeet Ulrich, the Dream Team, McKenna Grace and Megan Fox. With a rich history of games provides more than enough material for Blumhouse to move forward with a sequel. The creepy teaser trailer does open with a voice-over announcing that the show is about to start, before cutting to Mike as he reads the note from Abby, saying she's going to fix her animatronic friends. What comes next is several scenes of mayhem as the mechanical monsters begin to stalk again. One short clip shows an unnamed character, played by Wayne Knight, getting thrown through a glass door. The teaser ends with a voiceover that sounds a lot like William Afton's character saying "Showtime." While the first movie was a dual release, it was shown in both streaming services and the theatre. FNAF 2 will be exclusively a theatrical release. And that is Five Nights at Freddy's. I first heard of FNAF from my kids. I have two boys and they are huge gamers. But I do find the whole story just really fascinating, and all the lore and everything. But what are your thoughts on the movie? I think I'll definitely check it out once it's available to stream. But that is enough from me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay spooky, stay glam, and I will see you next week.